that isn't this color, I don't want it. Cheers. So good. Welcome to the Slow Bloom series, where we tie in personal wellness with abundance and ease-based growth. My name is Haley. I'm a private facialist and I own a boutique skin studio in Philly. It's called Haley Lynn Skin, and I just wanted to share with you some mindset changes that really helped transform the state of my business and being, and of course my skin too. I opened my skin studio in December of 2020 and made the executive decision to quit my full-time 9-to-5 job less than 3 months in about March 2021. And I honestly knew nothing besides hustle culture. That was at the forefront of my brain. That's how I always operated, and honestly that's all I was ever taught. For the first few months of owning my business, I did work at a franchise chain waxing center where burnout was the norm. Everyone that I worked with was pretty miserable, overworked, underpaid, working very hard, long hours, and just feeling burnt out and unaligned, honestly, if I could put it roughly. And after just a few months of working both my 9-to-5 and owning my own studio, I quickly learned that I could be profiting so much more if I went out by myself. When I wasn't working my 9-to-5, I was working at my studio, taking clients on my off days, on my off hours. There's days that I would finish, clock out, and go right to the next studio. It was nonstop, 7 days a week, complete chaos, to be honest. It was chaos, but I was comfortable in chaos because it meant I was building something, or so I thought. I was building something though, and that was a business based off of exhaustion, loose boundaries and policies, unaligned clientele, and very costly mistakes that down the line I would later learn that would run me into the ground. It definitely feels like I've lived many lives between then and now, and I would love to get into that deeper into the series, but I really want to emphasize on how slowing down has transformed my business completely. My idea of success at the time, of course, was booked and busy. I wanted a wait list of clients for months at a time, and I wanted to work 7 days a week, and I just felt like the more effort and energy I put in, that would equal a bigger result. I would have more money, right? But I actually ended up chasing that very thing I wanted away because I wasn't open to receiving. What I didn't realize was this time of me burning myself out and working extremely hard was just going to lead to unsustainable results. Was the money coming in? Yes. But would I have actually been able to sustain that and keep it going, working like that, and be happy at the same time? Absolutely not. And that's when I realized I need to really hone in and figure out what I want. I don't need to be looking at other estheticians. I don't need to be scrolling on Instagram. I don't need to be looking at what anyone else has or what anyone else is aspiring to be. And I need to ask myself, what do I actually want? And it was not working long hours. It was not answering texts on my off days. And it wasn't squeezing people in. It was honestly ease. I realized what I really wanted was a list of curated clients that I've personally vetted. And I wanted to walk into work and not feel anxious about what was coming next. And I wanted to feel excited to perform my service. And I wanted to feel fulfilled at the end of the day and not completely exhausted. As a woman, I naturally feel so inclined to take care of other people, and being a service provider who focuses on wellness, it's so easy to forget about yourself, and I knew that I didn't want that for myself. So I had to make a change, and that change was slowing down. For me, slowing down meant working only 3 or 4 days a week, tightening my boundaries, not squeezing clients in last minute, and not replying to clients on my days off, and having a separate work phone, by the way, really helped with that. I also really wanted to focus on client retention. I was so busy focused on how to get new people in the door that I wasn't very focused on curating a premium client experience, and that truly is what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to build something sustainable for my clients and for myself, and I knew that in order to do that, I had to be present and intentional with every decision that I was making. When it came to building my clientele, I realized that I wanted to stop fishing with a net and fish with a hook instead. I wanted to curate my catch so much more than I was prior. And when it came to my decision making, I didn't want it to be out of alignment. I wanted to be intentional and not impulsive, because like I said, in the future I will share about my mistakes that I've made and how they have cost me way more than the dollar amount itself. Because when I realized that growth is still growth, even when it's slow and intentional, that's when I started blooming and making the most money and the most happiness that I ever have in my life. Everything really came to play. If any of the topics that I spoke about today resonated with you, if you're a woman who is stuck in the fast-paced hustle life and you're looking to slow down and you really want to balance your rituals and wellness and your business all together, I really encourage you to subscribe and stay tuned for the rest of the series. And if you have anything specific that you would like me to talk more about, please let me know. I am dying to yap. I hope you decide to follow along as we bloom slowly in business, beauty, and being, and I'll see you in my next episode. I finished this mantra so fast. It's too good.